There are some certain websites which will be exactly duplicating all the information that you get on any of the. So, how do we understand the truth from what is fiction? So, this is a very important thing that we must keep in mind. So, there is something which is called as truth and something which is called as fiction. So, the primary purpose of studying science is acquiring that capability of analyzing between what is the truth and what is fiction. Okay, because there are lots and lots of information. We have got lots and lots of overburdening of information. There are so much of information floating around that it is very difficult for us to understand which one to follow, which one is correct, which one is to believe in. So, studying science is primarily discerning truth from fiction. So, what information is a valid information and what information you should always keep aside. So, that's not an information you will know, and you will also inform others. Okay, you will tell others that look, okay, this information is not a correct information. Please check this site. These are reliable platforms. From this, if you get the information, then you consider it as an information. If you do not get it from this, then you will say that this is a fictitious information. So that is automatically a garbage. Okay, as we call it commonly as a garbage. Now, why is studying science so important, or why are we doing this discussion in the very first week of 2022? Why is it becoming so important, or why is the government so much concerned about having this student week? So the first important thing is that we have already undergone a trauma of a pandemic. Okay, so pandemic has created a lot of trauma in us. And one of the biggest trauma is basically hitting the job market. Okay, so if you look at the presentation on the left hand side, you will see that in the post-COVID scenario, there is a reduction in jobs. Okay, so that is again a very concerning. So students often are kind of are very concerned that what is going to. You see, earlier we knew what the scenario was. We were aware of what the scenario is, and automatically we knew how our earlier. You see, we learn always from experience. So how our seniors had behaved under certain circumstances. But now the game, or the what is called as the playing field, has changed. Okay, so under this current scenario, the job market is also a little bit volatile. So under this volatile job market, how are we supposed to be capable of acquiring jobs? So this is one of the primary reasons why this entire thing is being organized. So this is to kind of give you a sort of a pathway of how to prepare yourself for the upcoming job market. So this is number one. I think the placement officer who is also there, he will be speaking at the last half of the discussion, where he'll be talking about that what are the current opportunities and how the placement cell is going to help you out regarding your placement and regarding your career choices. Okay, so the situation is okay, Graham. Let me tell you that the situation, let me not mince any word, because I'm talking about truth and fiction. So if somebody gives you a fictitious numbers that we are having so much of jobs, there is a lot of outflow of jobs, and there is a lot of positive things about it, let me tell you very bluntly, it's not a very positive scenario. Okay, so under this scenario, why is the government then asking us to do? To give you that how you will upgrade yourself to become market ready. So the next circle that you see over there is primarily telling you that you have to make yourself job ready. Okay, job is not going to come to you. So earlier, if you have seen in the situation that it was, and so what happened is that the situation earlier, there was lots and lots of jobs which were available to everyone. Now the situation is that you have to upgrade yourself to become market ready. So it's a very similar situation which you're having both for the engineering sector as well as for the rest of the sectors. But it is only the medical sector which is seeing a boom under this market. Okay, so it is the medical sector which is seeing a boom under the situation, and also some allied subjects which are seeing a boom under this phenomena. So, how to make yourself or upgrade yourself to become market ready? So, that's the second point. And the last we'll be discussing is basically the question time. Okay, so where you will be asking me the questions which you will be having, or any queries which you think that I might be able to answer. You see, in my part of the discussion, I have basically made my discussion into three sections. You see, basically, learning of science is primarily science is equivalent to knowledge about certain things, and it is leading to a philosophy of life. How do you lead your life? Okay, so leading your life, you see, is something which is very philosophical, and so I'll not be going into the leading of life. Okay, because I'm not discussing philosophy. But you must understand that if you want to progress, you must have certain understanding or certain mantras about your life. You see, whenever you talk about any of the gurus of business, or any of the means kind of people who guide you or mentor you, they will automatically give you certain points about life. Okay, in order, so philosophy of life is also very important because it helps you to fulfill your dream or your goal. Okay, so not to get so bogged down by the current scenario that you are facing. Okay, don't get so bothered about the scenario you are facing, and you have to go ahead even under the current situation. So let me break up the entire pathway of your career into three broad subcategories. One of the part is that you want to stay in science. Okay, so this is a part that you want to stay in academics, and you want to. So as a person who is advising you, the thing is not me telling you everything about what you want to do, and it's impossible because each of the subjects that you are studying is a very specialized field. You see, I belong to the physics department, so many of you who have joined from zoology, maybe from microbiology, from many of the other subjects. So it is not possible for me in an hour speak, or I will be speaking for 45 minutes, in 45 minutes to touch upon each and parts of science. So I would be advising you about what is the basic technology, or what is the method, or what is the direction in which you will be progressing in order to go if you want to reach that. So, for students who want to stay in science, what they have to do is consult your departmental mentor. So, the mentor is a person you already have been assigned a mentor of our college, and the mentor is will be best equipped to guide you towards a career in your particular field. Okay, and what are the scopes in that particular field? Your departmental mentor would be the first person to give you a first hand based on your strengths, your weaknesses, and your opportunities and your threats that you face based on the SWOT analysis. We'll be talking about it. The second part is basically if you want to pursue other academic careers, because there are many parts which are not directly belonging to your subject, but they are interdisciplinary. They are not exactly based on what you are studying, and you might have seen that many of them do study in those and are getting a lot of money. They're earning a lot from that. We'll be coming to that. That is the part that I'll be discussing. And if you want to go for a job, you contact the placement officer. So the placement officer is the person that you would be contacting if you want to put yourself in the job perspective. So in the first part, let's understand what's the mantra for progress in life. So the mantra for progress in life is primarily don't let others decide your goal. Okay, one of the biggest problems that we have found is that many of us choose our goal based on the fascination of others. Okay, many of the students, they have chosen a particular subject just because they want to become a space scientist, just because his next door neighbor is a space scientist. Okay, or because he is so he has seen some dada who has studied supposedly a particular science and is very successfully earning a lot. So don't let your goals be decided by what you have seen for others to be a very successful career. So what you have to do is basically you have to be yourselves. That's a very important thing. The next is you create your own challenges. Okay, creating your own challenges is a very important thing, is because if you want to improve yourself, because what I have said is the second point I'll be talking about is basically upgrading yourself, making yourself job ready. Okay, so you have to create your own challenges. So if you want to learn something, if supposedly you find a good book to study, you see, many of you have seen that there is a very classical book in your particular field. For example, there is something, a field of a book of Levine, supposedly it's a very good book which you want to study, or you want to study Atkins. It's a very good book you want to study. But the point remains is that it might be a good book, but the point is in your semester system you are not getting time to study that. So you create a challenge that, okay, in this week I'll be studying chapter 1 and 2 of this book. So your challenges don't have to be very huge that I have to, okay, reach the stars. No, make your challenges small and something which you can reach. And so after 1 week, when you complete that task, you feel very confident about it. That's the second thing, that you create your own challenges. The next thing is that sometimes you see the information is kind of floating in the air. So what happens is that you see there is so much of information that you don't know which information is actually useful for you. So what we do whenever we find such a difficulty, what we do is we share. Is it not? So the best way of sharing is basically joining a group of people who have a very same goal as yourself. Okay, you create a group which is very similar to yourself, and what you do is basically you share the information with one another. So what happens is supposedly there is an opening for supposedly for National Center for Molecular Biology. There is an opening over there. Supposedly there is a research opening. So what happens is that you are not actually aware of such an advertisement which is going on. So you create a group where there would be some dada didis and some your fellow mates who are actually, some people who are actually doing molecular biology, some people who are perhaps studying biology, some people who are studying chemistry, who might be requiring something like a job in organic chemistry someplace. So these people who are in the field, they are much aware of what the openings are in the field. Might be that opening is not for him. That's not exactly directly for him. So what he does is that he will be sharing that in the group. So once he shares that in the group, might be what is not very important for him might be very important for you. Okay, so what you do is next you join a group of people who share the same goal. So automatically that would help you. And if you supposedly get stuck somewhere, you get someone to help you out. Okay, they might provide you with some advice, something which is not that you have to definitely follow. But what happens is that when you see such advice from some seniors, it will give you some pathway as to success. That how do I get that job? What are the things that I need to study? Or what happened in the interview? What did they ask you in the interview board? These are very, very simple questions. Supposedly, I have got a good ranking in chess. Now I have to give an interview somewhere in Vishakhapatnam, supposedly. Now, if my senior is studying over there, so what happens is that supposedly at Kunnur, there is some over there, I want to go over there. But I know one senior who has studied over there. I take a 1 hour discussion with the senior or a 15 minutes phone call to the senior. He'll be just advising you, look, these are the guys who are working over there on these fields. So please study them in advance and they might be asking you questions in that. So these are simple things which will help you in channelizing your career as a whole. The next point is take incremental steps and do not multitask. I have found many students, what they do is basically, yes, any question? Okay, please, there will be a question time, so don't worry about it. Okay, so the point is that don't multitask, because what happens is that many of the times what happens is that we are maybe talking on the mobile on with someone, and also we are studying. I have seen people do a lot of things together, and they feel proud of multitasking, that I'm able to do three things at a time. But our brain is not built up for multitasking. So don't do that. That actually reduces efficiency. Now everybody accepts that in the research field. They accept that multitasking doesn't help you in the long run. And the next is always take an incremental step, a step which you can reach. Okay, don't take a step which you cannot reach. Take a small step that today I'll be studying this chapter. Okay, I'll be studying for 25 minutes. I'll be taking a 5 minutes break and then I'll study for 25 minutes. Don't go for a very long period of time. Okay, I'll be going for a marathon today. And for the next 7 days, I'll not study. Don't go for that. You take a small step. And the point is grow internally such that you have the skill set needed to achieve your set goals. Okay, so you have to now, the situation is a little bit different. The market is sitting there. But the market is not going to come to you for, आओ मेरे पास जॉब करो, मेरे पास तो इतने vacancies है, you come over here, I'm waiting for you, you come and get the job. No, it's not never going to be like that. Even if you imagine in your dearest of dreams, it's never going to be that. Then how are you going to be in your market? The thing is, you acquire a skill set such that you become very capable or you are in demand. Now, there are three ways of approach to a career. The three-way of approach is that you might become the entrepreneur, you might become a salaried professional, or you might become a consultant. An entrepreneur is kind of, I have an idea and I am the master of all I survey. Whatever I do, I am the master of that. I don't have to bother about anybody else. I have the idea and I'm taking the risk, I'm taking the bank loan, and I am going to do whatever I want to do. So that's one of the career approaches. The other career approaches which I see most of the students take is called as a salaried professional. Okay, a salaried professional is that I take what I get, what salary has been determined I get, and I try to give back more to the society who is paying for my salary. Okay, so whether it's a customer, whether it's somebody who is paying for my salary, I try to give back to whichever concern I'm working for. And the other is basically the consultant who basically thinks all the world's a stage and I direct this show. So basically, I just give advice, and based on my advice, if people are earning millions, like I'm Warren Buffett, I'm giving you advice. You go for this shares, and I'm taking money for that. Okay, so automatically you direct the show, whatever you want to do. So that's another way of looking at life, or that's also a career. So let's give you kind of the career. This is the amount of money that people were earning in 2000. This was 2019. Okay, so just before the COVID, this was the amount of. Why I was talking about interdisciplinary is because of that. Just look at that. This is the amount of money that 52 countries international average salary, and all of these are interdisciplinary subjects. These are not conventional subjects, like an environmental scientist. Okay, who can go into that? Almost all the branches of science can go into that, become an environmental scientist. So your identification of pollutants, hazards, chemists can go into that. If you look for the BODs and other parts, biologists can go into that. If you want to look into what the flora is basically being affected, people can go into that. If you want to look at what is the risk of an avalanche, even a physicist can go into that. If you want to go into any of the field, this is the annual salary that people are getting. For a biophysicist, they get even more. For a chemist, they're getting even more. For a forensic scientist, they're getting a little bit less, but still it's more. Okay, so these are the average salaries that people were getting in 2019. So now let's look at You see, when you have a BSc or a bachelor's in science, it basically offers a huge range of options. But you must understand that the huge range of options that you get, those huge range of options, whichever you get, you have to have the necessary set of skills to earn that much amount. They are not going to pay you that amount of lakhs of rupees just for show. They're not going to give you those money just for show. Are you expecting those money just for show? No. You have a BSc degree certificate, you just show that BSc degree certificate. Are they going to give you this amount of money? It's a huge amount of money. So are they going to give it to you? The answer is no. So what does the government want you? The government wants you to be market ready. Okay, so that's what even our college wants you to become ready for the market. So how do you become ready for the market? So the points that are there is that, look, the opportunities are, you have to, if you want to go into any of this list, you see, you've got applied physics, you've got architecture, you've got biochemistry, you've got chemistry, you've got civil engineering, community health, you've got computer engineering, computer science, construction management, electrical engineering, environmental geology, healthcare administration, informatics, mathematics, nuclear medicine, nursing, nutritional sciences, public health, sports medicine. Now people start thinking that how can I, who is studying an ordinary BSc, how can we go into these places? Now this is the first thing which comes into our mind. The point is you have to acquire the necessary skills in order to channelize your entire thing in that direction. So BSc is just like a stepping stone. You are using that step to go to the next level. So how do you go to the next level? That's why what we do is to understand that, look, in the post-COVID job market with a Bachelor of Science degree, jobs are not easy, that I had already said. However, it is a career booster. The BSc is a career booster. Why? Because science-related careers are booming under this atmosphere. What are the parts that are booming? Healthcare is the first. I have already put you over there, that healthcare is being the first industry which is booming. And in the healthcare, they automatically require a science degree. Okay, so a science degree is required even if you want to go into the medicines, if you want to go over there. So you require a healthcare is one of the biggest ways where you have a big job market. Then you have got engineering. Now the question becomes is that I don't have a BTech degree. Then how can I go to engineering? There are multiple ways of going into engineering. You don't have to have a BTech degree to basically join an engineering course. So what do we need to do? There are multiple channels, and that is where we want to go into. Computer science. Why computer science is becoming important? Because in today's world, you see, I am sitting over here and giving you a lecture to so many people sitting over there. So what has made this possible? What has made this possible is basically the entire system of information technology. So technology is able to give this information to all of you. So the scientific workforce is booming and the employers need your expertise. Your expertise is needed. Now, what do you have to do? You have to make yourself ready for the job market. So you look at the market and you decide what I should do in the future instead of going the other way around. Many of the students, what they do is they first decide the future and then they go for the job. Okay, I want to do this and then I'm looking for a job. Now that is not the post-COVID hiring scenario in 2021. So after 2 years, the entire hiring scenario has changed. So the point is, you must remember that not all majors are in high demand right now. So as you embark on your college search, take some time to research what your career fields are hiring. But now you will tell me that, look, I have already come to your college. I have joined the college. Now, what am I supposed to do? In 2019, I didn't know that what the future is going to be. What would happen after COVID? So, what do you want us to do? I say, go for the next level. That is, you improvise. You improvise based on the situation you have. And how do you improvise? So currently the jobs which you have in demand are the medical field, technology, construction, engineering, financial services, digital marketing, entertainment or performance, sci-tech, blogger or technical writer. This is again a very booming market, the last two. Entertainment or performance, digital marketing, sci-tech blogger. These are becoming booming markets where there are not many people are going from different parts into the different part. But the point is, in the medical field, you can become a nurse, pharmacist, dietitian, nutritionist. You have already courses over there in masters, so you can go over there. Nuclear medicine, medical technicians you have. For technology, there is a programmer, web developer, data security analyst, computer and mobile repair technician, DTH or fiber optic and cable network professionals. In construction, you've got architect, construction manager, and cost estimators. In engineering, you have got civil engineer, software engineer, electrical engineer, and space scientist. These are booming now. In financial services, you've got accountant, auditor, and financial advisor. Let me tell you, most of the best of the, even the RBI governor was a physics person who went into economics after BSc. It is BSc in physics. So even if you look for that, you can say that Girish Karnad, if you heard, he did his BSc in mathematics before he went to Oxford to study English literature, and he went into theatre. So you see, there are lots and lots of such deviations that do happen. So being market ready. So in Government of India study, you see, many of you feel that IIT Bombay graduates, getting into IITs is like getting a job. It's not that. According to Government of India study, what has been seen is that 80% of IIT Bombay graduates are not market ready. So why the stress is being shifted is basically because of this. Now you have to become market ready. How do you become market ready? In order to best prepare for a life, you have to talk to a career counselor. Okay, you have to get an internship. So these are the parts where you need guidance, and that's why we have got a career development cell, which is called as a CEL, and we have got the placement officer to help you out in these ways. That what are the places where you can go? So you have the mentors. Take help from them. Okay, so getting help from them is going to help you out in the long run. So what you do is you get yourself an internship. How to get an internship and all this stuff, you ask your mentors. Your mentor is going to help you about internships in different sectors. The next is, there are questionnaires which I have got. You please meditate on this. The first important thing is you know yourself. What am I good at? This is called as a SWOT analysis. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. What am I good at? Where do I fall short? What are the opportunities I have or I can avail? You see, the government of West Bengal has given you a credit card, a student credit card. A student earlier, in order to get a loan, they had to go for lots and lots of paperwork. It was not so easy earlier. Now it has become very easy for you all to get those opportunities, because now what has happened is that if you want to learn something from some supposedly online course, if you want to learn, earlier people used to think that how will I get the money to study those things? Now with the credit card, you can avail those things. So take help from those things. Are there any duties or impediments that I must bear? So that is the threat to you. That, look, I want to get this job, but these are the problems. I cannot take a job in Bangalore. I have to stay with my parents over here in Kolkata. So these are kind of the duties that you have. These are the impediments. So automatically, what are the opportunities you have or you can avail, and what are the duties you have? Where do you want to be after BSc? This is a very pertinent question. How do I have the necessary academic requirements? If supposedly a job requires a BSc honors, if I don't have a BSc honors, then what am I supposed to do? If yes, you have the academic requirements, then you go for improving your CV. Put more, you be more oriented. Your CV, let your CV be more oriented towards your objective. If no, then look for an allied field. If you cannot become a doctor, you can become a medical technician. So you will be close to the doctors. You will be able to help in the medical field. Okay, so what skill do I need to acquire in order to achieve the goal? So first you have to analyze yourself. I want a job, I want a job, there is no jobs, there are so many jobs. These crying about it is not going to yield you a job. The point is that I want to go for a job. Am I job ready? The first is question yourself, am I job ready? Will they be paying me this much to get a job? What skills are prized in the current job market? If I know cryptocurrency, I know it's a prize thing. If I know machine learning, it's a current thing. If I have those skills, then I'll be market ready. Now the question is, do I know them? Okay, so this is what you have to understand. That what are the skills that are required in the job market? And then you have to understand the elephant has got two teeth. One is the degree certificate, another is the knowledge of the subject. Do you have the knowledge of the subject, the skill? Only showing the degree used to give you jobs earlier, but now it's no longer true. They want you to have the necessary skills. Otherwise, what's happening? Every year, people are getting recruited. The next year, they're retrenched because you are not able to satisfy their standards. So, in order to do that, you have to acquire the skills. Now, the question you must ask, am I willing to work hard? Okay, my parents are earning so much. They are leaving so many that my parpote is going to live on those. So do I need to work hard? So are you willing to work hard? Then the question comes, what skill makes me unique? Do I have any skill that I can say that this skill I have, so please give me a job. I know how to paint like a Picasso, so give me a job. Okay, I have got ideas like Pitish Nandi, so please give me an ad job. So automatically then he is just a class 12 pass and he is getting such a job. So why? Because he has the skill set which makes him unique. Then how are my decisions affected by others? Does it alter my life goals? Am I being like a football? Am I getting kicked around by people with different ideas? That I first fix my goal that I wanted to be like this, then some new idea kicks me, I go to another side. So you have to decide. And am I capable of taking my own decisions? Or does my decisions affect others? How does it affect? Does it affect them positively? Is my decision about my life decisions affecting my parents positively or negatively? They are thinking that no, your decisions are entirely rash. Then you have to think about it. The next is, do I generate a lot of ideas? And am I a good leader? That's again a very important question. So these are the questions that you should meditate upon before you go for the job. Now, you see, we have got an entry in services and other things. So I would hand over my entire thing to our career specialist Shoikot, who is specialized in this part. He's a placement officer to speak on this subject. Okay, Shoikot, are you there?
Yes, Shambhu. Yes. Thank you very much.
Before to start, I'd like to say that the feedback link is given in the chat box. Student, please fill it up so that we can get touch with you later. And the question session will be open at the end of the session of Shoikot sir. And meanwhile, if you have any question, you can use the chat box also. And thank you, Shambhu, for your elaborate and vivid presentation. And I think the students will be encouraged for the thing you have mentioned over there. Thank you. Over to you, Shoikot sir.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Shambhu. It was indeed a wonderful presentation with good insights. I was really spellbound. Wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Just a second. আশা করি আমার স্ক্রিনটা দেখা যাচ্ছে ছাত্ররা দেখতে পাচ্ছিস আমার স্ক্রিন?
Yes, sir.
আচ্ছা, আমি তোদের একটা জিনিস দেখাবো। হ্যাঁ, দেখ তো, একটু বাড়িয়ে দি। হ্যাঁ, এই জিনিসটা মনে পড়ছে কারো? কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স অর্কদ্যুতি আছিস?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
এটা মনে পড়ছে?
হ্যাঁ।
অ্যাপ্লাই করেছিলি?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
পরীক্ষা দিয়েছিস তো?
হ্যাঁ।
ফ্যান্টাস্টিক। আমি এই জিনিসটা কেন দেখালাম সেটা বলছি। এই জিনিসটা আমি বা আমাদের সেন্টার ফর ক্যারিয়ার ডেভেলপমেন্ট সেল physics, chemistry, mathematics, computer science, electronics, BSc General, through mentors and HODs, বিভিন্ন হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপে এটা পোস্ট করেছিলাম। টাটা কনসালটেন্সি সার্ভিসেস ডিউরিং প্যান্ডেমিক, এটা 9th নভেম্বর, এটা দেখো 2nd নভেম্বর ডেট ছিল রেজিস্ট্রেশন এন্ডে। তার মানে মোটামুটি পুজোর সময় আমি এটা পোস্ট করে দিয়েছিলাম। অক্টোবর মাসের আমি এটা গ্রুপে পোস্ট করে দিয়েছিলাম টিচারদের, টিচাররা হেল্প করেছিলেন। I remain thankful to that. এইটায় চাকরি পেলে একেবারে সরাসরি আইটিতে চাকরি পাওয়া যেত, টিসিএস আইটিতে। স্যালারি দাঁড়াতো 1,90,000 টাকা পার অ্যানাম, 1,90,000। অলরেডি রনিত ঘোষ বলে একজন, সে এই চাকরিটা পেয়ে গেছে, বিএসসি জেনারেল। কলেজটা খোলার পর আমি একটা সার্ভে করতে ডিপার্টমেন্টগুলোতে ঘুরলাম। দেখলাম কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স থেকে মোটে 2 জন পরীক্ষা দিয়েছে, ম্যাথামেটিক্স থেকে 3-4 জন অ্যাপ্লাই করেছে, কেমিস্ট্রি থেকে গোটা 6-7 জন অ্যাপ্লাই করেছে, 2 জন পরীক্ষা দিয়েছে। বিএসসি জেনারেল জানি না, ফিজিক্স জানি না। অথচ দীপক চন্দ্র, I think that name will ring a bell. স্বয়ম্ভু, তোমার ডিপার্টমেন্টেরই বোধহয় দীপক চন্দ্র।
হ্যাঁ, আমাদের ডিপার্টমেন্টে।
He is working in TCS. He has been placed through Center for Career Development and Placement Cell. ও সিস্টেম ইঞ্জিনিয়ার হয়েছে বোধহয় এখন। He is working.
হ্যাঁ।
দেখো, আমি একটা সহজ উদাহরণ বলছি, তোমরা সবাই বড়। যখন পৃথিবীতে কম্পিউটার আসে না, তখন অনেকগুলো চাকরি চলে যায়, কিন্তু অনেকগুলো চাকরি আবার তৈরি হয়, অ্যানসিলিয়ারি জবস। কোম্পানিগুলো তাদের রাখলো যারা কম্পিউটারটা শিখে নিতে চাইলো, উইলিংনেস, শিখিয়ে নেওয়া হলো। কম্পিউটার সারাবার লোক তৈরি হলো, ইলেকট্রিশিয়ানস তৈরি হলো। প্যান্ডেমিক বলো বা যাই বলো, ডিউ টু গ্লোবাল ওয়ার্মিং এই জায়গাটা আসতোই যখন ওয়ার্ক ফ্রম হোম আসতো। চাকরি একটা লেভেলে যায়, কিন্তু আরেকটা লেভেলে চাকরি তৈরি হয়। সেই চাকরিটা নেওয়ার জন্য স্যার যেটা বললেন, আমি কি রেডি, এই জবটা দেখেও আমাদের কলেজ থেকে খুব বেশি হলে 12 থেকে 15 জন পরীক্ষাটায় বসেছে, অ্যাপ্লাই করেছে আরেকটু বেশি, 17-18 জন। তাও হবে না, পরীক্ষাটায় আমাদের কলেজ থেকে হার্ডলি 6 জন বা 7 জন বসেছে, অ্যাপ্লাই করেছে 12 থেকে 15 জন। আমার প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে কেন? এটা অনলাইন অ্যাপ্লাই করা যেত, কেন? আমার এই প্রশ্নের উত্তর তোমাদের কাছে নেই। আমরা সবাই টিচাররা, ক্যারিয়ার ডেভেলপমেন্ট সেল একা কিছু করতে পারে না। সমস্ত কলেজ, সমস্ত টিচার, সমস্ত মেন্টররা এটাকে পোস্ট করেছিলেন, কিন্তু সায়েন্স ডিপার্টমেন্ট গুলো থেকে স্টুডেন্টরা অ্যাপ্লাই করেনি। আমার বিনীত প্রশ্ন, হাত জোর করে প্রশ্ন করছি, কেন? কোনো উত্তর আমি পাবো না, আমি জানি। আরেকটা নোটিশ দেখাই, জানি খুব কষ্ট হচ্ছে, খিদে পাচ্ছে, আমারও পাচ্ছে, কিন্তু কি করব বলো? 8/12/2021 ডেটের নোটিশ, টিসিএস ইয়ার অফ পাসিং 2022, এটা নন আইটি, বিএসসি জেনারেল অ্যাপ্লিকেবল। যারা মনে করছো আমাদের হায়ার স্টাডিজ করার মতো জায়গায় নেই, ফিনান্সিয়াল একটা প্রবলেম আছে, জুওলজি, সাইকোলজি, ইভেন ফিজিক্স, কেমিস্ট্রি, বিএসসি জেনারেল অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারো। অ্যাটলিস্ট ঢোকো তো, নন আইটিতে ঢোকো, তারপর আইটি উইং এ ট্রান্সফার করবে। বাড়িতে ঢোকো, তারপর তো নিজের জায়গা তৈরি করবে। স্যার যেটা বললেন, এন্ট্রিটা নাও, তারপর স্কিল সেট অ্যাকোয়ার করে নিজের জায়গা নেবে। তোমাদের জানালাটা দেওয়া হয়েছে। 1.5 বছর পর প্যান ইন্ডিয়া, সারা ভারতবর্ষে এই রিক্রুটমেন্ট চলছে। এই নোটিশটা 8ই ডিসেম্বর দেওয়া হয়েছে, লাস্ট ডেট হচ্ছে 7ই জানুয়ারি। এর সঙ্গে আমরা বুকলেটও দিয়ে দিয়েছি কি করে অ্যাপ্লাই করতে হবে। আজকে ডেট অবধি আমাদের কলেজ থেকে অ্যাপ্লিকেশন ফর্ম জমা পড়েছে, টিসিএস এর রেজিস্ট্রেশন ফর্ম জমা পড়েছে মোটে 50টা। কেন? সমস্ত টিচাররা হেল্প করছেন, কিন্তু তবুও আমাদের ছাত্রছাত্রীদের এই জায়গাটা আমরা মোটিভেট করতে পারছি না। আজকে আমি একদম নাম করেই বলবো, এপিসি কলেজ, নৈহাটি আরবিসি কলেজ 200-র ওপর রেজিস্ট্রেশন দিচ্ছে, আমাদের কলেজ ক্রস করতে পারছে না। কেন? কারণটা আমি বলে দিচ্ছি। জব আছে ভাই, একটা লেভেলে জব চলে গেলে আরেকটা লেভেলে জব তৈরি হয়, আমরা নিতে চাইছি না। কেন? কারণটা বলছি। কারণ আমাদের না এইটা নেই, হ্যাবিট। নলেজ অ্যাকোয়ার করার জন্য আমাকে প্রথমে জানতে হবে, মানতে হবে যে আমি জানি না, তবে জানার জন্য যাব, তা না হলে বসে থাকবো। ডিজায়ার, একটা ইচ্ছে থাকতে হবে, খিদে থাকতে হবে, তা না হলে হবে না। স্কিলস নিতে হবে। এই সবগুলো মিলিয়ে একটা ভালো হ্যাবিট তৈরি করে, যেখান থেকে ভালো অ্যাটিটিউড আসে, পজিটিভ অ্যাটিটিউড আসে, ড্রাইভ আসে, মোটিভেশন আসে। আমাদের নেই। কেন? SWOT অ্যানালিসিস বললেন না স্যার, করে দেখো। কারণটা হচ্ছে এই 7টা যেটা জিনিস পয়েন্ট আছে, এটা ছবি তুলে রাখো ভাই। সেন্টার ফর ক্যারিয়ার ডেভেলপমেন্ট সেল কেন? স্বয়ং ভগবান এলেও তোমাদের সাহায্য করতে পারবেন না যদি এই 7টা প্রশ্নের কোনো একটা তোমার হ্যাঁ হয়। আমি কলেজ ওয়েবসাইট কোনোদিন দেখি না, আমি সেন্টার ফর ক্যারিয়ার ডেভেলপমেন্ট সেলের কোর্সে ভর্তি হয়েছি, কিন্তু ক্লাস করি না। আমি শুনতে চাই না, আমি পড়তে চাই না, আমাকে সব স্যার এনক্যাপসুলেটেড ফর্মে দিন। প্লিজ গিভ এভরিথিং টু আস ইন এনক্যাপসুলেটেড ফর্ম, so that we will not have to read long documents, so that we do not need to pay attention, so that we do not need to be active listeners. We will just take a few pills and vomit. দুটো বড় বড় দাঁত বাইরে বেরোবে, ভেতরে কিচ্ছু থাকবে না। নিজেদের কন্ট্যাক্ট নাম্বার ফ্রিকুয়েন্টলি চেঞ্জ করতে থাকো, করো, কোনো আপত্তি নেই, কিন্তু কলেজকে সেটা জানাও না। বিভিন্ন জায়গায় অ্যাক্রেডিটেশনের সময় এবং অন্যান্য জায়গায় যখন স্টুডেন্ট ফিডব্যাক দরকার হয়, ডিপার্টমেন্ট তোমাদের সঙ্গে যোগাযোগ করতে পারে না। সেন্টার ফর ক্যারিয়ার ডেভেলপমেন্ট অ্যান্ড প্লেসমেন্ট সেল তোমাদের সঙ্গে যোগাযোগ করতে পারে না, কারণ তোমরা তোমাদের কন্ট্যাক্ট নাম্বার চেঞ্জ করে দাও এবং কোনোদিন নিজেদের ইমেল দেখো না। আমি জানি এখনো অনেকে আছে যারা নিজেদের ইমেল চেক করে না। কেন? আমি হাতি ঘোড়া কিছু বলছি না, আমি বেসিক জিনিসগুলো বলছি। একটা কোর্সে ভর্তি হয়ে গেলাম উইদাউট এনি প্ল্যান। আমি জানি না সেই কোর্সটা আমায় কোথায় নিয়ে যাবে। আই ডোন্ট নো ওয়্যার দ্যাট কোর্স ইজ গোয়িং টু লিড মি। Rely on issues which are less authentic and inexperienced. Rely on less authentic and inexperienced resources. স্যার একটু আগে বলেছেন, স্যার ওরা করেনি বলে আমি করিনি। এই ওরাটা কারা? তোমার বন্ধু? তোমার বন্ধু বেশি জানে না মেন্টর বেশি জানে? স্যার ইউটিউবে দেখেছি এগুলো খুব কঠিন। এই প্লিজ, there are a lot of garbage data. Unwilling and give up. এই সাতটার মধ্যে যে কোনো একটাতে যদি তোমার হ্যাঁ হয় না, আমি কেন, কেউ তোমাকে সাহায্য করতে পারবে না। ক্যারিয়ার কাউন্সেলিং প্রোভাইড করা হয় সেন্টার ফর ক্যারিয়ার ডেভেলপমেন্ট সেল থেকে। কিছু এমপ্লয়াবিলিটি স্কিলস ট্রেনিং দিই, এমপ্লয়মেন্ট অপরচুনিটিস দিই, দুটো দেখালাম, তার রেজাল্টও বলে দিলাম এবং ভবিষ্যতে কি হবে সেটাও বলে দিচ্ছি। এইগুলো তোমরা পেয়েছো কারণ তোমাদের সিনিয়ররা এগুলো নিয়েছে এবং আমাদের কলেজের সুনাম রক্ষা করেছে। তোমরা যদি কলেজকে কিছু দিয়ে যেতে চাও, এইটা নিজেদের জুনিয়রদের দিয়ে যাও। নেসেসারি ইনফরমেশন দেব, দিয়েছি, ইন্টার্নশিপের ইনফরমেশন দিয়েছি। সাইকোলজি ডিপার্টমেন্টের দুজন প্যান্ডেমিকের সময় অনলাইন ইন্টার্নশিপ করেছে। অনলাইন সার্টিফিকেশন প্রোগ্রাম TCS আয়ন, অনলাইন ফ্রি সার্টিফিকেশন প্রোগ্রাম আমি পোস্ট করেছি গ্রুপে। টিচারদের, HOD-দের রিকোয়েস্ট করেছি, তারা পোস্ট করেছেন, কিন্তু টেকার কজন আছে আমার খুব সন্দেহ। বাড়িতে বসে করা যেত, করনি। আমার আবার প্রশ্ন, কেন? ছেড়ে দাও, ক্যারিয়ার ফেয়ার বোঝার দরকার নেই। অন্ধের দেশে আয়না বিক্রি করব, আমি করে যাচ্ছি, এখনো করব। আপস্কিলিং কোর্স বলে দিচ্ছি কি কি পড়াই আমরা এই কোর্সে। আমরা কমিউনিকেটিভ ইংলিশ পড়াই, কম্পিটিটিভ পরীক্ষার ইংরেজি এর মধ্যে ইনক্লুডেড থাকে, প্রেজেন্টেশন স্কিলস বাড়বে। এগুলো বেসিক স্কিলস, হায়ার স্টাডিজ করতে গেলে বা চাকরির জন্য এই স্কিলগুলো লাগে। আমরা লজিক্যাল রিজনিং পড়াই, নিউমেরিক্যাল অ্যাপটিটিউড পড়াই, সরকারি চাকরির পরীক্ষা দিতে এগুলো লাগে। আমি কেন তোমাদের এই TCS বা এই ধরনের কোম্পানিগুলোতে অ্যাপ্লাই করতে বলি? এর ফর্ম ফিল আপ করাটাও ডিফিকাল্ট, এটাও একটা এক্সপিরিয়েন্স বিনা পয়সায়। এই এক্সপিরিয়েন্সটা নাও, এতেও স্কিল ডেভেলপ করে, অথচ আমরা অ্যাপ্লাই করি না। কেন? এই কেনর উত্তর কেউ দিতে পারবে না, কেউ দিতে পারবে না। স্বয়ম্ভু স্যার পারবেন না, জয়দীপ স্যার পারবেন না, সন্দীপ স্যার পারবেন না, কেউ পারবেন না। কারণ তোমাদের হ্যাবিট, এই হ্যাবিটটা ডেভেলপ করার দরকার আছে। এভরি এজ রিকোয়ার্স আ নিউ কনফেশন। প্রত্যেক যুগে যুগ পাল্টায়, সময় পাল্টায়, আমাদের অ্যাটিটিউড বা হ্যাবিট পাল্টাতে হবে। অথচ আমরা হ্যাবিট পাল্টাবো না, অথচ বলবো চাকরি নেই, আমাদের চাকরি চাই। হবে না বাবা, পারবো না। অর্কদ্যুতি আছে, আমি জানি, আমি ওকে নামে চিনি, কারণ কম্পিউটার সায়েন্সের ও একজন মাত্র ছাত্র যে আজ পর্যন্ত সেলের কোনো ক্লাস মিস করেনি। আমি চিৎকার করে বলছি, অর্ক, এই সেলের ক্লাসগুলো করে তোর ক্ষতি হয়েছে, হ্যাঁ বা না? পরিষ্কার উত্তর দে, ইফ ইউ আর দেয়ার।
না স্যার।
তোর এই ক্লাসগুলো করতে ভালো লাগছে না খারাপ লাগছে?
ভালো লাগে।
হলো, ও একমাত্র কেমিস্ট্রির আরেকজন ছাত্র আছে, ও একমাত্র এরা দুজন আছে, মাইক্রোবায়োলজির একজন আছে, একটি মেয়ে, আমার মনে হয় সেও রয়েছে। আর ইউ দেয়ার?
Yes, sir.
সেলের ক্লাসগুলো যে করেছিস, কিছু শিখতে পেরেছিস?
অনেক কিছু।
হলো তো। এই এরা ফার্স্ট সেম থেকে অনলাইন হোক অফলাইন হোক এরা ক্লাস করে যাচ্ছে, তাহলে বাকিরা করি না কেন? যারা সেম ওয়ানে আছো এখনো ভর্তি হওয়ার সুযোগ আছে, ভর্তি হতে পারো, ওয়ান টাইম ইনভেস্টমেন্ট। চিৎকার করে যাব, বলে যাব, এটাই আমার কাজ, যতই খারাপ লাগুক। 2013-14 থেকে 19-20 আমাদের মোটামুটি এই অর্গানাইজেশন গুলো আমাদের সঙ্গে রেগুলার যোগাযোগ রেখে গেছে। তোমাদের সিনিয়ররা এই অর্গানাইজেশন গুলোতে স্বতঃস্ফূর্তভাবে পার্টিসিপেট করেছে, চাকরি করেছে। সবাইকে চাকরি করতে হবে না, কিন্তু পার্টিসিপেট করো। যার দরকার সে চাকরি করেছে এবং করার পর তারা পারফর্ম করেছে বলে these organizations have recognized our college and they are, they give information to us for upcoming hiring drives. কিন্তু এবছরের পর খুব খারাপ পরিস্থিতি হবে, কারণ টেকার্স নেই। তোমরা উইলিং নও কেন? এই প্রত্যেকটা কেনর উত্তর এই পুরো কলেজ তোমাদের থেকে চায়। আমি জানি কোনো উত্তর নেই, এই উত্তরগুলো তোমাদের ফিউচার তোমাদের কাছে চাইবে, দিতে পারবে তো? মোটামুটি একটা স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স। আমরা কিছু আমাদের বইপত্র বা কিছু রিসোর্সেস আমরা রাখি, স্টুডেন্টরা এলে তারা পার্টিসিপেট করলে কলেজমুখী হলে নিতে পারবে। আমি জানি ours is an undergraduate college where the general tendency of people is for vertical progression, MSc করব, কিন্তু তবুও যদি দরকার পড়ে সেন্টার ফর ক্যারিয়ার ডেভেলপমেন্ট সেল তোমাদের সঙ্গে সব সময় আছে, থাকবে। কিন্তু ওই যে 7টা পয়েন্ট দেখিয়েছিলাম, ওই 7টা পয়েন্ট এবং ওই যে দুটো পোস্টার এবং নোটিশ আমি দেখিয়েছি তার রেসপন্স বলেছি কেন কম হলো, কেন আমরা নিলাম না। এর উত্তর যদি নিজেরা নিজেদের দিতে পারো, কোনো ক্যারিয়ার ডেভেলপমেন্ট সেল লাগবে না, নিজেরাই প্রসপার করবে। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ।
Thank you, Shoikadda. Still, we have almost 94 present over here. And I think most of you have completed the feedback. And if you have any question, you may ask any of our two research person.
There is a question from Shani Datta in the chat box. Shoikadda, please.
I am now in first sem. The same spelling is not CM, Shani. It is ACM. However, I want to apply in the cell class. I think Shani, you have completed the feedback, and from there we will get your email ID and phone number. So Shoikot sir will contact you and tell all the modalities and the procedure to join the cell.
Or Pradeep, Shayani can once the college reopens, if she feels like ওকে তো কলেজে আসতেই হয়, আমার সঙ্গে আমার ডিপার্টমেন্টে এসে ডাইরেক্ট কথা বললেও হয়ে যাবে, মানে either or, তাহলে ডিপার্টমেন্টটা দেখাও হয়ে যাবে।
Okay, she may come, but I think it would be something like Duara Sarkar. So Shell should go to the doorstep of the students so that they can be more encouraged.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And if you have any question, then please ask quickly. we are already 15 minutes late, and I think most of you have not taken your lunch yet. So if you do not have any question, so we'd like to conclude the session with formal vote of thanks to both of our speakers, Mr. Shwayambhu Mitra and Mr. Shoikat Nandi, and overall our governing body, namely the President, Sri Devray Chaudhary, our Principal Sir, Dr. Monojit Ray, all the governing body members, our IQAC coordinator, and all my fellow colleagues. And special mention, I would like to mention specially the role and activity of Dr. Shandip Pal. He is not only our colleague, he is my brother, and he have taken all the responsibilities to conduct the 3 sessions today. I have just called him yesterday night with the request to conduct this session, and he have accepted it happily and make me in debt. Thank you, Shandip. And with all, I would like to wish all of you a very happy New Year 2020 and happy Teachers Students Week. Thank you all. So, should we left?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.